In life, mistakes happen, but when you're dealing with dead people, identification errors are difficult to overcome. While the notion of misidentifying the deceased may seem unlikely, we found 2 different cases where families were told their loved ones were dead, only to find out later they were very much alive. Finding the right words is never easy after losing a loved one.
And I just wrote something simple, that my heart is so heavy today. Rest in peace, baby cousin Tyler.
On September 11th, the Multnomah County Medical Examiner notified the family of Tyler Chase that the 22-year-old had died of a drug overdose. His body found in a parking lot in downtown Portland.
We have a very small family, and he, losing his mom in 2020 was just really hard on us, and then losing him, it just was like, oh.
The body was cremated on October 1st. A death certificate was issued, and Chase's family collected the ashes. For 3 months, the remains sat undisturbed.
And then December 19th, I'm getting ready to go see Christmas lights with my little one, and I get a random phone call.
It was the medical examiner's office.
And they said, "Are you driving?" I said, "No." She said, "Okay, if you're home, please have a seat." And I instantly was like, thinking it was another family member.
Instead, they were calling Latasha Rosales about her cousin, Tyler.
And she said, "There's been a mistake in his death. He's not dead. He's actually alive."
Latasha thought maybe it was a prank until they showed Tyler on FaceTime. He'd been in drug treatment for months and out of touch with family, but definitely still alive.
I just lost it. I was just like, I can't even tell you how I felt. It just was so surreal, and it just didn't even, I can't even explain it.
So how did this tragic mix-up happen? In a statement, Multnomah County explained, the misidentification occurred because the deceased person was carrying Mr. Tyler Chase's wallet and his official temporary Oregon driver's license. The identities of people who die are confirmed in several ways: state or government-issued ID, fingerprint comparison, and visual identification by friends or family. In this case, Chase's family wasn't available to view the body prior to cremation.
Well, then who died? Whose ashes do I have?
The medical examiner's office didn't release the correct identity of the deceased man, stating that his family asked to remain private.
I can't even imagine how they feel. Their child, their brother, their loved one cremated without them even they passed away without them being notified.
After a comprehensive review, the Multnomah County Medical Examiner explained, going forward, all individuals who are found with a temporary state-issued identification must also have fingerprints submitted for positive identification to ensure that this will never happen again.
It's so hard to believe how something like this could even happen. It just makes no sense to me.
We figured that case was an outlier until we got an email from a Vancouver couple who explained they experienced something similar. But in their case, the medical mix-up resulted in the wrong man being taken off life support. The family of Mike Beeler made the heavy decision to say goodbye after speaking with staff at a Vancouver hospital.
They said he's basically brain dead. Do you want us to keep him on life support, or do you want to pull the plug?
So our decision was to tell him to take him off life support.
A death notice appeared in the local newspaper. It remembered Michael A. Beeler, 60, of Vancouver, who died on August 9th, 2021.
That whole week was kind of a blur. Trying to come up with funeral arrangements and letting family members know that he passed away. And
then came the phone call that no one expected. It was Mike.
And I said, "You can't be alive, you're dead." He goes, "No, I'm not. I'm quite alive."
Mike wasn't dead. Instead, he's very much alive.
I don't get it.
In a terrible case of mistaken identity that has never been publicly disclosed, KGW found Peace Health Southwest Medical Center in Vancouver allowed a family to pull the plug on the wrong man.
I'm going, you know what? We made life-ending decisions for a person we don't even know.
This medical mix-up all started with a 911 call on August 8, 2021. According to dispatch logs, Mike Beeler's roommate was not breathing and unconscious after he choked on a piece of steak.
He fell over a chair, and I thought he was dead then.
An ambulance transported the man to Peace Health Southwest Medical Center in Vancouver. But somewhere along the line, the roommate was misidentified, and the hospital incorrectly treated him as Mike Beeler.
How do you misidentify somebody?
Beeler's family claims Mike had previously been treated at Peace Health Southwest Medical Center and had medical files on record, which may help explain why the hospital knew to call his sister and brother-in-law with dire news.
It was a nurse from Peace Health.
And later, a decision to make. Was it a question?
It was a question of, do you want us to keep him on life support?
And that wasn't the only decision. The body was transported to a funeral home, where the wrong family was asked about final wishes, cremation, and organ donation.
And when we went to the funeral director, I says, don't we need to identify him? And there was never, no, we'll just take it from here.
All County Cremation and Burial Services declined to comment. It wasn't until Mike made that unexpected call to his sister a week later, concerned because his cell phone account had been closed, that anyone realized.
It's pretty bad, man. I mean,
the roommates had been switched at death.
And then the sorrow and all that stuff to go with it. And he's dead, and I'm supposed to be dead. Who knows what's going on here?
After learning about the mix-up, the Clark County Medical Examiner's Office said it retrieved the decedent from the facility where it had been sent, conducted an external examination, and used fingerprints to confirm the person's identity, which proved it wasn't Mike Beeler. It was his roommate. A new death notice was published in the newspaper remembering the roommate, David C. Wells, 69, of Vancouver, who did die on August 9th, 2021. And if that isn't troubling enough, get this. At the time, nobody told the family of David Wells about the mix-up. The only mention of misidentification, they say, was in a coroner's report. They had no idea that their loved one was taken off life support by complete strangers until I contacted them, a reporter, nearly 3 years later.
I don't understand that lack of humanity. I don't.
They had ample opportunity to notify me, and they
so
didn't.
many opportunities.
Sean Wells says his father had a distinct tattoo on his arm, which could have raised red flags if comparisons were made between the patient and medical files.
It was pretty noticeable that it would have been a very easily identifiable mark on his body that, even if there was any slight confusion about his identity, I think it would have been quickly resolved.
Instead, a mistake was made, and the family of David Wells must live with the consequences.
I'm at a loss for words how badly they handled this in regards to my father, and I'll never be able to get that decision back.
Mike and his family have been met with silence too.
I guess I still don't know whatever happened. And
So you don't know how this mix-up occurred?
No, not at all. And we never got an explanation. And we never got a sorry or anything.
Peace Health declined to answer our questions or provide any explanation about the mix-up, citing federal patient privacy laws. Should a hospital apologize when a mistake is made?
Anytime something goes wrong in healthcare, it really is important that the practitioners and the organization proactively reach out to the patient and the family to let them know what happened, to explain what took place, and to apologize.
Dr. Thomas Gallagher, a patient safety and ethics researcher at the University of Washington, says when critical mistakes are made, hospitals need to go back and examine what happened. A Peace Health spokesperson wouldn't say if there was any type of internal review.
And so you can really tell pretty quickly whether organizations are committed to learning and transparency and accountability, or more interested in hiding things and protecting their reputation.
Mike Beeler's family thought they'd lost their loved one for good, taking him off life support, only to learn the shocking truth. It was a stranger. Yet nobody will explain how it happened or why. Experts say over the years, healthcare organizations have made patient identification a priority. Think about your last visit to the doctor and how many times they ask for your name and date of birth. Keep in mind, identifying a patient is not always as easy as it may seem. People might not be able to tell hospital staff their name because they're unconscious or dealing with a mental health issue. In some cases, patients don't want to give a name or provide the wrong name due to law enforcement or immigration concerns.